woman. Meanwhile, Ivan, who's intellectually skeptical, he is the one who's constantly struggling with the meaning of life. And Alyosha is the spiritual character who provides the redemption at the end of the story. And once again, Dostoevsky is explaining the conflict between faith and reason, between nihilism and meaning, and Dostoevsky does that better than anyone. Now, the greatest novels always take on big issues. In fact, it's hard for me to think of a novel that I think is truly meaningful that doesn't include questions about God. This is something that I think secular atheists don't understand. Religious people are constantly thinking about things like the injustice of the universe and why bad things happen to good people. And so when secular people say to religious people, well, God doesn't exist because bad things happen to good people, it's like, well, we've been dealing with this particular dilemma for literally all of human history, and it's that struggle that characterizes the religious struggle of people. Abandoning that struggle by saying life is meaningless leads you to nihilism and down dark paths, which is one of Dostoevsky's main points in virtually all of his writings. But it's those struggles that are being taken on by people ranging from Tolstoy to Dostoevsky. There's also themes of moral responsibility. Did the father deserve it? Who actually committed the murder? It turns out it was none of the brothers. Again, it's an amazing piece of writing. Again, these are books that require time. Anna Karenina is probably 800 pages long. Brothers Karamazov is, if anything, a little bit longer. So devote the time to actually read them through, and you will get a lot of benefit from it. We'll get to more of this in a moment. First, this July, there is a global summit of BRICS nations in Rio de Janeiro. BRICS is a bloc of emerging superpowers, including China, Russia, India, South Africa. They're meeting with the goal of displacing the US dollar as the global reserve currency. They are calling this the Rio Reset. As BRICS nations push forward with their plans, global demand for US dollars is going to decrease. That brings down the value of dollars in your savings. That's happening right now. De-dollarization is an ongoing process. While that transition is not going to happen overnight, the Rio Reset in July marks a pivotal moment when BRICS' objectives move decisively from theoretical possibility toward reality. Learn if diversifying your savings into gold, the way I did, is right for you. Diversification is just a smart strategy in uncertain economic times. Birch Gold Group can help you move your hard-earned savings into a tax-sheltered IRA in precious metals. Claim your free info kit on gold by texting my name, Ben, to 989898. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, tens of thousands of happy customers, let Birch Gold arm you with a free, no-obligation info kit on owning gold before July and that Rio Reset. Text Ben to 989898 today. Okay, to America for Moby Dick by Herman Melville. So if you want like my full take on Moby Dick, when we did Ben's book club a couple of years ago, I actually did a full episode on Moby Dick. It's an amazing piece of work. It's an attempt to sort of recreate many elements of the Bible in the guise of a whaling story. So the basic setup is that Ahab is a captain who has been gravely injured by the white whale, and he decides that he is going to go after this white whale with everything that he has to the point of death and beyond. And that's because he sees the white whale as a representation of God's injustice in the universe. The white whale injured him, and he says that he wants to stab through the pasteboard mask to get at the meaning of life and to get at God. Again, you can see that this theme is being taken on by pretty much all great literature. This story, of course, has one of the great opening lines of all time, "Call me Ishmael." Ishmael is the main character of the story. But the real story is all circulating around Ahab and his dictatorial running of the Pequod, which is a whaling ship out of New Bedford. People say that the whaling sections are too much. I get it. There's a lot of whaling. If you don't know much about whaling, then you will after you read this book. I think one way to think of that is that it's sort of the Leviticus section of the attempted Bible that Moby Dick actually is. There are themes ranging from the distinction between Western civilization and barbarism to the mistakes that can be made by those who attempt to stay loyal. Fate versus free will. Is Ahab designed for death, essentially? And there's no more compelling character in literature than Ahab. He has the same sort of compelling drive as Satan does in Milton's Paradise Lost. This sort of drive